Class is in session. I'm just kidding. We're just going to do a quarterly review session. But before we get started, let's bring the camera a little closer. All right, we've switched angles. And as you might be able to tell, I am in a different location today. I'm actually in New York City for a couple of days because I'm here for my dissertation chapter conference in New Haven on Monday. And I mentioned that not only because my setting is obviously different, but also because the reason that this video is essentially late is because I had meant to film it in London in my flat, but the dissertation chapter and my dissertation deadlines got the best of me, and it meant that this got pushed back. And so we're going to be reviewing the first quarter of 2024 and preparing for quarter two, 3 weeks into quarter two. So it's a tad delayed, but I wanted to share not only my reflections on quarter one and how it is that I'm planning for quarter two, but I'm also going to be changing my goal planning system. I am entirely reliant on Notion and my paper planner. And I've been doing these weekly reflections every Sunday for years now. But for the last year in particular, it's been a crucial part of my ritual. As I've been developing these systems and as I've been refining them, I've realized that some of the ways that I was going about goal planning was not working. And I wanted to think about how it is that I am creating actionable and well-aligned goals for myself that allow me to move towards the things that really matter. And so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and reflect on quarter one. And it wouldn't be a Kaelyn Apple video if it didn't have a dramatic montage. So instead of just walking you through my reflection, I'm going to show you my reflection. The new year began with bated breath. I felt as though I had just crossed the finish line only to be thrown into yet another marathon. And yet the new year also beckoned a new sense of exploration and hope as I slowly moved away from the work, relationships, and routines which were leaving me deflated and considering what might come next. January was an indication that change was necessary, but February demanded it. I refocused on my dissertation with a new goal in mind. April 29th, the first honest step forward towards completion, leaving only a few months to sort out all that I had found and to craft my first chapter. Simultaneously, I began finding my footing. I took a risk, applied to one of the most competitive fellowships of my academic career. I applied to contribute to a new project, and all the while I sought out new friendships and recommitted to old ones. I fell into my rhythm and was reminded of how much had changed since the beginning of the previous year. I now had time for weekends. I found myself lost in the pages of a fantasy novel, and while struggling with feeling inadequate and unsure, with feeling insecure about my work, my content, and my status as an American abroad, I was granted the unique gift of community. I relied on my accepted society family for support. I turned to my partner when I needed a pep talk. I leaned on my friends who had always been there to remind me just how important the journey is. And somewhere along the way, luck started to turn in my favor. And I ended Q1 with some of the biggest news I've ever received. And I'm just so grateful that I get to share it with you all. Now, I hope that you enjoyed that little montage of Q1 and all of the different things that happened and that I'm working towards. It was such a roller coaster, and I had so many difficult moments, as you saw, but I am heading into quarter two with some incredible life updates and some stuff that I'm really excited about. But before we get into planning out quarter two, I wanted to quickly share how it is that I'm planning on leveling up my style in quarter two. And that starts with this outfit right here. So let's go ahead and chat a little bit about the sponsor of today's video, which is one of my favorite partners on this channel I have ever had, and that is Lily Silk. So without further ado, let's go look at some outfits. Lily Silk was so kind to send me a couple of different pieces from their most recent spring collection. And so I figured we would do a little try on haul. And if you want to check out the different pieces that I'm wearing, I'm going to have everything linked in the description below. And they were also so kind as to give us all a discount code, which the pieces didn't arrive in time, which I'm really sad about, but I actually ended up using the code that they gave me in order to order more pieces after they sent me these. So if that is not a ringing endorsement, I don't know what is. But if that is not enough to sell you, let me go ahead and show you the outfits. This outfit is what I would call an academic cosplaying as a corporate girly. I have on this beautiful knit turtleneck from Lily Silk, and let me tell you, I know you can't feel it, but it's the softest material, and it's also quite thin, so it's perfect for layering, but also ideal for spring. I went ahead and paired that with a nice little tan belt and some white trousers, as well as my nice tan colored bag and my tan loafers. There's no unawkward way to show an outfit when you are this tall and you don't have much space to work with. So this is the first outfit, and now we're gonna move on to the second. This outfit is giving vacationing in Nantucket. I feel like I'm about to go get on a boat, but this striped sweater from Lily Silk with the navy and white stripes is both very preppy and also incredibly soft. It's almost so delicate that I didn't want to put it on because it's so beautiful and thin and so well stitched. And oh, it actually has black stripes and navy stripes. Man, I really played this outfit well. I paired the sweater with a black belt, the same white trousers, and some black loafers this time. I feel like this is a nice casual going out, going shopping with some friends kind of outfit. And now we're going to move on to the absolute most gorgeous shirt that I have ever worn, and that is outfit number 3. I absolutely love this shirt, not only because of the color, but also because this is some of the softest silk I have ever encountered. And I have had many a silk shirt, and they have been easily ruined. But this one has stood the test of time. I've had it for a couple of weeks, and it also just so happened to land me a really cool opportunity. So I think this is my lucky shirt. It'll be in rotation in my closet for years to come. And I love it because you can dress it down with a pair of jeans, but I could also very easily wear it with a pair of trousers, throw on a blazer, and walk into a job interview. For this outfit, I've gone ahead with a black belt, yet again, some nice casual flare jeans, and my black loafers, yet again. But like I said, I love this shirt because you can dress it up or you can dress it down, and it is also the most comfortable thing ever. And now for the final piece from Lily Silk. And for the final outfit, we have my favorite piece for every day. This beautiful cardigan. I've been wearing it so much that you've likely seen it in other vlogs, and it has the most beautiful detailing on the sleeves and around on the trim. I love a gold button. The attention to detail is just gorgeous, and it is the perfect cross between casual and feeling slightly preppy and academic. I went ahead and paired it with the same pair of jeans, same black belt and loafers, and then put on a white tank top underneath. And you could button this all the way up. I think that's probably the more traditional way to wear it, but I went ahead and unbuttoned here and just did the middle buttons. And I personally really like the way that it fits. Absolutely love this piece. So if you're interested in checking out Lily Silk for yourself, then go ahead and click the link below as well as the discount code. Thank you so much to the Lily Silk team for offering this discount for you all, as well as for gifting me these absolutely gorgeous pieces. I cannot wait to receive more of my Lily Silk pieces in the mail that I personally purchased and to wear these for many years to come because the material and the quality is just absolutely gorgeous. So now let's go back to doing a bit of planning. And we are back, and it is time to get planning for Q2. Now, in all fairness, I'm not actually physically planning at this moment because these are things that I did set up for when Q2 actually did roll around. I just didn't have time to film this video. But what I wanted to share is how it is that I'm approaching my goal planning and my objectives system. Now, here's the thing. I know that so many people find the concept of goals and habit tracking and all of these things really overwhelming. And especially if you are neurodiverse and executive functioning is not your forte, then this might not seem like something that is entirely accessible to you. But I just want you to stick around because even if this exact system does not work for you, I'm hoping that you'll gain something from hearing a little bit about the process. And so even if it's just walking away with one tiny thing about gamifying your productivity system, or it's about thinking about the big picture, whatever it is, I think that you can gain something from this. And so I want to walk you through my new process. The thing I want to start with is my daily rituals. Now, it might sound counterintuitive to be talking about quarterly goals and to begin that by talking about habits. However, what I want to talk about is the structure and the systems that I have in place day to day. Then we're going to talk about the big picture, and then we're going to move on and talk about how it is that we implement that in a quarterly and in a monthly goal planning way. Every single day, I try to maintain a general ritual. Now, here's the thing. That doesn't look like 5 a.m. wake up, journal, language lesson, green juice, the whole bit. Now, don't get me wrong. That is something that I do in terms of getting up and immediately having a morning routine. But a morning routine doesn't work for everybody. So instead, I want us to think about a daily ritual, something that we do in order to nourish ourselves and our minds and our wellness every single day that is an important piece to building a healthy system. For me, that looks like starting the day with mindfulness and journaling. And this is when I check up on my goals and make sure that I'm making progress. And I also reflect daily on how it is that I'm feeling about that progress. The second thing that I do is work towards one of my bigger goals, which is to improve my Chinese. I've been learning Mandarin over the past several years of my life, but recently I really tried to buckle down, especially as I'm planning a trip to Taiwan with my grandmother at the end of May. And whether or not I get that done in the morning or I get that done in the afternoon or right before I go to bed, making sure that I am making those daily moves towards my goals is something that makes me feel incredible. And it's something that I'm really proud of. I now have a Duolingo streak of 80 something days. And I'm really proud of that because that means that almost all of Q1, I was actively every single day making a tiny step towards my goals. And so those are just two examples, but when I think about my daily rituals and the things that I do in order to ensure that I am doing what is right for myself and for the goals that I want to accomplish, that looks like daily habits. That looks like the daily checklist. And whether that's big or small, having small incremental things that you're doing every single day to work towards your goals is so important. I know that might seem really overwhelming, but we can also do this with community. And one thing that has been really helpful is, for example, working on my language skills and knowing that my partner is also learning Chinese and seeing his progress on Duolingo. And so if you have difficulty with executive functioning and thinking about these things every day requires a lot of mental processing, I want you to know that I hear you. And as somebody that I believe is neurotypical, I have friends and I have people in my community that do struggle with this form of executive functioning. And this is based on advice that I have seen work for them and the systems that they have put in place. So thinking not only about putting this on yourself to maintain these daily rituals, but doing that in collaboration with others is also so important. Now we're going to zoom out. We're going to think about the big picture. So we started with daily habits, and now we're going to think about where it is that we want to be in general. This is based on a lot of the productivity advice that I have consumed, especially from creators like Ali Abdaal, where it's important to think very generally about what direction you're heading in. It's like putting something into your GPS. If you were to just get in your car and to just go driving down the road, if you don't have a general destination in mind, you don't know what direction you're heading in. You don't know which exit to take or whether to get on the freeway going north or south. And this is an analogy that I've now spread way too thin. But you want to have a general destination in mind. And you know what? Along the way, you might decide that, I don't actually want to go there anymore. And that is what I would call a pivot. But it's important to have a general destination in mind. And so here is what I've come up with. Some of my big picture goals are to complete my PhD. This is something that I have grappled with a lot over the last couple of years, especially this past year of working on the dissertation of whether or not this is something I really want. And every time I think about the options that I have before me, I know that completing the PhD is something that is deeply important to me. The second is that I want to continue growing my YouTube channel. And though I say reach 250,000 subscribers, that is a general goal. I don't care how long it takes to get there. I don't care how many videos I post. I don't care what videos I post, but I want to keep growing my YouTube channel. And so the number is arbitrary. It's not really about hitting 250,000 subscribers. It's more so about having a general idea of wanting to grow my YouTube channel. The next is that I would like to own a flat or to own a home in the UK or in London, more specifically. I never thought that home ownership was something that I was ever going to be capable of. The only person in my immediate family who had purchased a home was my father. And he is incredibly money-wise and frugal, whereas everyone else in my family always rented and never had a very positive relationship with money insofar as I saw it. That there was a lot of financial insecurity, and as a young adult, I felt a lot of that financial insecurity because I didn't have a good relationship with money. And so putting this as my big picture goal is something that actually feels achievable now because I've been taking steps every single month and every quarter to move myself closer to that goal. And so while it might seem like a pipe dream for many people, and it's an incredible privilege just to even think that it's a possibility, it's something that I'm really proud of having as a possibility. The next goal is to pay off my student debt. I have a lot of student debt from having done my undergrad as well as my master's degree, and I have slowly been chipping away at it. It has a lot of interest built up on it, and I've been trying to figure out the best repayment plan possible. But one of my major goals is to be debt-free. And lastly, the biggest pipe dream of them all, the thing that I have dreamt of since I was a child, and the thing that occupies every single thought in my mind. I desperately want to have horses in my life again someday, and specifically to have my own. And again, this is something that I have wanted since I was a kid, and it always felt like something that was going to be continuously out of reach. But honestly, thanks to YouTube, it's actually possible now. It's something that I can look forward to, and it's several years off, but it's something that is part of my big picture. When I think about a random Tuesday in my life when I'm in my mid to late 30s, what I see is living in a home that I own with my partner. My dog is there. I get to wake up early in the morning, go ride my horse before starting work. I want to work a traditional 9-to-5 job. After I finish my PhD, I plan on working in tech, and more specifically education technology, and working a full-time job. When I think about the big picture, when I actually imagine it, what I see is having completed a PhD, being debt-free, still having my YouTube channel, having a horse, and having a full-time job that I love. That is the big picture, and the reason that I share that with you is because this greatly affects the way that I then approach my quarterly and my monthly goals. So now we've moved on to my goal planning, and as you can see, it's a very intricate process. I have my annual goals, my quarterly goals, my monthly goals, my weekly goals, but this is something that is part of my process, and I'm not saying that this might be right for you. It's something that has taken a long time to slowly implement into my day-to-day life, but it has meant that I have achieved almost every goal that I've set myself over the past year. One thing that I am changing, and what I wanted to share in this quarterly review, is that I am no longer doing these incredibly long, incredibly intricate list of goals. Instead, I'm really focusing on setting quarterly goals that align with my big picture. And so that means that I am limiting things to 3 primary goals per quarter. My first goal for the second quarter of 2024 is to complete 2 full chapter drafts of my dissertation. I recently just submitted my first chapter, and I'm having my chapter conference with my committee in only a couple of days. I'm really proud of the progress that I've made, and while this is a very difficult goal, it's one that I feel I can make progress towards. My second goal is to post 15 YouTube videos in quarter 2. I have been really on top of my YouTube game up until the point when I had to write my dissertation chapter. And one of my big picture goals is to grow my YouTube channel. And so one thing I'm committed to is growing my YouTube channel by thinking about quantity. I've been on YouTube for a long time. I know this process. I know what it takes in order to grow my channel. And I know the sacrifices and the strategy that lead to exponential growth. And the thing that I have learned is that in order to do this sustainably and in order to do it in a way that I personally love and enjoy, I have to do it at a pace and with the type of content that I genuinely enjoy. And my pace at the moment is about 1 to 2 videos a week and creating a whole lot of vlogs and getting to be creative with my content. And so that is one of my goals for Q2. And my third goal for Q2 is to begin riding horses again. As you saw with my big picture, one of the things that I really feel is missing from my life right now is riding horses. I found a trainer that I'll be riding with outside of London. I used to ride horses professionally and just really miss being around them and having that as an outlet. And it's something that I'm committed to going forward. And so without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and call it a wrap. I hope that you enjoyed this video and getting to hear a little bit more about my process for setting quarterly goals. It has changed over time and I'm sure it'll change still, but I absolutely love setting and meeting my goals and developing these systems. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. And last but not least, thank you so much to Lily Silk for sponsoring this video and for gifting me these absolutely gorgeous pieces that I cannot wait to wear around New York and for my chapter conference on Monday. Thank you so much to their team for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching and for hanging out. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friend.